Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing my top 10 of 2018 series with a slightly more negative video. We're going to be talking about the 10 products that I regret purchasing most this year. Now here's the thing, this is not a video so much about terrible products or things that I think you shouldn't go out and buy. If these products work for you or you love them, that's amazing, that's great. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. I really want this video to be more about where I think I went wrong. I bought all these products with my own money, and many of them I feel like I should have known better before I picked them up. Some of them were things that were very hyped and I just felt like they didn't perform quite the way that I expected them to. But again, I feel like if I was thinking a little bit more critically, I could have saved myself from buying these products that kind of ended up being a waste. Half of them I still have, the other half are things I've either ended up returning, I've given to somebody else, or in a rare case, I've thrown away because I either couldn't give them to someone else because of sanitation reasons, or I just didn't want to subject anybody else to that particular product. So hopefully you guys will find this fun and informative, maybe just kind of get the gears turning for yourself about how you approach makeup, especially considering how much is currently constantly being released and how much hype there is around products. I think all of us should be the most educated consumers we can be. So here are my mistakes from this year, and hopefully you will not make the same ones. So I feel like the lesson I've learned from this first product is to not let yourself get sucked in by packaging, because if a product at the end of the day doesn't perform in a way that you absolutely love it and it works for you, it doesn't matter how pretty it is, unless you feel like buying a $30 or $40 decoration for your vanity, it's kind of useless. If you haven't already guessed what product I'm talking about, it is the Smashbox Petal Metal Highlighter that they did in collaboration with Vulgar. Now, look at this. This is an absolutely stunning compact, and even when you open it up on the inside, the product is embossed with a rose, it's shiny, it's pretty. You can understand why I might have been tempted to pick this up. Now, I did have Ulta points that I redeemed to get this, so I didn't actually have to spend money. But when I think about how many other products I could have received, could have bought with those points instead of this, it makes me hurt a little bit inside because I never used this, and it was, I think, $40. Like, it was something crazy expensive, and honestly, I think the only reason I justified spending that much money was because it wasn't actual money, it was points. But again, I just feel like this has gone so to waste. It basically sits up here in my little bookshelf as a decoration. I never really use it. And honestly, the reason is I just don't particularly love this highlighter formula. It's a very stiff powder. It's not that it's super glittery. And when I swatch it here, it looks nice. It has a cool, pink reflect to it. It's pretty. But I feel like whenever I actually apply it to my face, it kind of looks a little powdery, it looks a little icy, it doesn't have that sort of nice creamy natural texture to it on my skin, so I just don't really feel inspired to reach for it all that much, and therefore it's basically just going to waste. I put it in flat lays, I have it kind of sitting around to look pretty because it's way too late for me to return it. And I struggled because I thought about returning it after I bought it and I tried it and didn't fall in love with the formula, but obviously I kept it. So in the end, yes, it's pretty, and I don't think that it's necessarily a terrible product. I think there are going to be people that kind of like this finish, but for me, on my skin tone and just with my makeup preferences, I kind of feel like I totally wasted my Ulta points picking this up. The lesson I've learned that goes along with this second product is not to buy things just because they're on sale. So I picked up this Tropez Gradual Tan in-shower tanning lotion, I think back in the spring or summer. Maybe it was during an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. Either way, I'm pretty sure it was 50% off. And if it wasn't on sale, I never would have bought this because I don't really sunless tan, ever. Way back in the day, I used to be a ballroom dancer, random fun fact, and whenever I was competing, I had to sunless tan myself from head to toe, essentially. So there were many years of my life where Sunless Tanner and I were like this, and I think it kind of killed it for me forever. Once I stopped dancing, I was kind of over it, over the smell, over just the whole experience. It's a lot, and I really don't care enough to be that tan. But I saw this and it kind of made me a little nostalgic, and it was on sale, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try it. But here's the thing. I knew when I bought this that you have to apply it to your wet skin in the shower and then stand around with the water off for 3 minutes. And like, I know 3 minutes is a lot longer when you're freezing in the shower than you think that it might be, and that I would probably not like that experience a whole lot, and yet I bought it anyway. And then I went and I used this, and I very much found it annoying. Like, I really didn't like having to stand around and wait and time it to make sure it developed before I rinsed it off. And it was a pain. I honestly feel like for the amount of effort, I would have rather just put on a regular sunless tanner and had it develop. Not to mention the fact that it's a gradual in-shower tanner. So you have to do this like every day for a week to develop any kind of color. So like, maybe if this was like an express kind of tan where you got really dark after one application, I could suck it up for a single day and freeze my butt off in the shower for 3 minutes. But having to do it like every single day is a pain. And you still smell like sunless tanner. It's just as bad as anything else. So I kind of feel like I don't really understand the appeal to this. Maybe if you're someone that uses sunless tanner, like a regular strength tanner on a regular basis, this would be good for maintaining your tan in between regular applications. Like, I would think that would be the only reason why you would want this, because the hassle, it's too much. I don't really like it. I haven't really used it much since my initial like week or two of trying it out. So again, even though I got it at half price, I regret buying this. It was kind of a total waste. The third product that I regret buying this year, I actually don't have because I gave it away to a friend. But this one I feel like was just dumb. This was very silly of me because I feel like I should have known better. Like, I knew this product wasn't going to be my preference and I wasn't going to really like it, but so many YouTubers talked about how amazing it was that I wanted to try it for some strange unknown reason. And it was a drugstore product, so it wasn't that expensive. So I went out and bought it. The product I'm talking about is the Physicians Formula Spotlight Priming Filter or Primer. Essentially, it's like a dupe for the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. It's kind of got like a shimmery pearlescent base, and you can apply it as a highlighter or you can apply it underneath your foundation, like all over your skin. And okay, I'm oily. Now, right now it's winter. I'm a little more combination. My skin is kind of taking it down a notch. But in the summer when I bought this, my skin is very oily. I do not need anything luminizing. My skin does a great job of luminizing itself. And the kicker to me is that once upon a time, I owned the Becca Backlight Priming Filter and I gave it away to a friend because I just didn't like it. I didn't feel like it did anything for me. I basically didn't really even see it underneath the foundation anyway, and it did nothing to help control shine, and it really just looked almost sort of like glittery and sparkly on the skin, so I wouldn't necessarily have liked to wear it all over my face on like a no makeup kind of day. So I don't know why I felt like by buying the dupe of this, I would somehow like it better. I know that Jam Beauty 89, I absolutely love her channel, Jessica Braun. She was basically the person that I watched that was talking so much about this product, and I think she ended up keeping the Becca one when she did the declutter, but she said the Spotlight was just as good and it was an amazing product. But why? Why did I buy that? Why did I buy it? I knew it wasn't really going to work for me if I didn't like the Becca one. Why did I buy the Physicians Formula? Even though I ended up getting it at like a ridiculously good price, it still was money wasted. I'm glad that my friend that now owns it, I think she really has been enjoying it. So it's not a waste in that respect. I was able to gift it to somebody else. But I don't know what got into me. I should have known better before I bought that product. So this next product makes me especially sad because I think I really like the formula. I just think I bought the wrong shade. And I think I was fooling myself by thinking I was more tan than I actually am, even though it was like spring or summertime when I picked this up. But I'm talking about the Winky Lux Coffee Bronzer. When I saw this launch, I was so excited because it said it was going to be scented like coffee, and it does have a scent to it, but it smells more artificial than like straight up coffee. It reminds me of those like plastic scented dolls I had when I was a little kid and growing up. It's kind of more of like a vanilla, like a latte kind of scent, like a vanilla coffee kind of scent. It's not bad, but it is pretty strong. If you don't like scented products, you're gonna go a little bit crazy because you very much smell it when you're applying it to your face. So I got this in the darker of the two available shades. This is Mocha, the other one is Latte, and I 100% think I should have bought Latte. Why did I think it was a good idea to buy the Mocha shade? Maybe part of it is that I ordered it online. You can't buy this in Ulta stores. You can only buy it online from Ulta or online from the Winky Lux website. So I think I was afraid that the Latte shade was going to be too light and it wasn't going to show up on me. But the problem with this is I think it just looks a little bit too muddy on my complexion because it is so dark, and then it ends up looking just like a little bit patchy and not super flattering on me. And like when I swatch it on the back of my hand, it's like, oh yeah, all right, that doesn't look so bad. But I just think given the color of my skin, I'm light medium, I'm not really that deep. I think this would suit like a tanner complexion a little bit better. So I don't regret buying this product because I think it's nice, and I do really like Winky Lux, and I kind of like the whole coffee vibe. I wish I got the lighter shade because I think it would have worked so much better for me. So regret number 5 has taught me that I just don't like waterproof mascara very much. And I think I kind of knew that before I went out and bought this mascara. But after trying it and a couple other waterproof mascaras this year, I am 100% certain I don't really care for waterproof formulas. They do absolutely nothing for my lashes. So the specific product that I'm talking about here is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Volumizing Mascara in the waterproof version. Now the original is like one of my holy grail mascaras. I think it's amazing. It's like $10 from the drugstore, and it is super volumizing for your lashes. It makes them very like luscious and black, and it never smudges or flakes on me. It's kind of the best. So I was hoping that the waterproof version of that mascara would be just as good. Like it would basically be the original, but more long wearing and waterproof. Alas, no, it was not at all like the original. It did not volumize my lashes like even the tiniest bit, which was very disappointing. My experience with waterproof mascaras is just that. I feel like every one I use, it just is very light on my lashes. I feel like I cannot build it up without it starting to get weirdly like crackly or spidery, and then taking it off. That is honestly, I think, the worst part. Maybe if it made my lashes look like out of this world amazing, I would be all about the waterproof formula, but for how little it does, it is the biggest pain, and I feel like I always end up using so many cotton pads and losing some lashes trying to get that stuff off, or it's like flaking under my eyes for like days afterward, despite the fact that I'm using like straight up oil to remove it. It's a pain. It's just not for me. If waterproof mascara works for you, that's great, because I'm sure that it's very handy, especially in the summertime if you're out at the beach or the pool and you want to like just put a little bit of something in your lashes, or maybe you're at the gym and you know you're going to get a little bit sweaty. I see the appeal, but for me personally, I don't find that it works, and I really regret buying that mascara and spending my money on it because I used it for like 2 weeks and then ended up throwing it away because I just did not like it at all. So the 6th product that I regret buying this year is this guy right here. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. And what I learned from this is that I should have watched more reviews before I went out and bought this product. Now, being a beauty YouTuber myself, there definitely is some appeal to the idea of getting your hands on a brand new product launch and being one of the first people to put your thoughts out there into the world and to kind of have an unbiased opinion and to like not see anybody else's feedback on a product before you try it. So like I happened to stumble upon this in a display at my Walgreens very shortly after it released. I didn't get the big PR package that a lot of other beauty YouTubers got. I don't get PR from CoverGirl, but I saw it fairly close to like the beginning of the launch. So I went out and I bought it because I really wanted to try it and share my thoughts. I did a dedicated review and like a wear test on this. I feel like if I had watched or really paid attention to even a couple of reviews, I would have learned about the white dot thing in this foundation, and I probably wouldn't have been so intrigued to buy it had I known about that, because it did that exact thing to me. So basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this foundation, once it dries, leaves little white dots all over your face, or at least in this particular shade, which is M10, it does. And the actual formula of the foundation itself it's okay. It seems to be relatively oil controlling. I think I like the Maybelline Superstay better for a mattifying foundation from the drugstore. But yeah, I don't ever really reach for this because the little white dots drive me crazy. So like, yes, on one hand, I'm glad that I bought this and I was able to review it so I could let you guys know about it. But like on a personal makeup consumer level, I definitely regret buying this because I feel like it is very much wasted. I just don't really enjoy wearing it because the white dots really just kind of ruin the whole makeup look for me. Like, I can't really get them off. Even if I go in with a brush and try to like sweep them away, they kind of just hang out there, or like new ones will appear. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why it does it, but it annoys me greatly. On a more hopefully positive note though, I did see that CoverGirl is launching like a brand new line. It's called their Full Spectrum collection, and they have a new matte foundation as part of that line that is available online only from Ulta, and I was placing an Ulta order anyway, so I decided to pick it up. So I'm gonna give that one a whirl, see if it's any better than this. Maybe it won't have the whole white dot situation, and maybe it will be mattifying and lovely, so fingers crossed for that. You'll be hearing more about it from me very soon. So this 7th regret, this is honestly probably the worst experience of all of the ones I'm gonna talk about today. This is the product I like threw away because I didn't want anybody else to even have to deal with it because that's how much I disliked it. So back around my birthday, which is July 3rd, there's always like some good Independence Day sales going on, so I was treating myself to a little Ulta haul. I was in the store and I saw near the Fizz and Bubble display, they had these bath candies, and they essentially looked like little mini bubble bars that were individually wrapped like saltwater taffy or like bubble gum with like a little crinkle wrap. Super, super cute, and they were buy one, get one half off. So I bought 2 like little buckets of them. Was so excited to try them out. A few days later, I was like, I'm gonna take a bath. I popped in like 2 or 3 of those little bath candies. And let me tell ya, okay, first of all, they are supposed to make bubbles. Did they make any bubbles? No, not even a little bit. Second of all, they smelled horrible. It's something about the scent, I can't really even describe what it was, but it smelled off, like it smelled expired. And that's the thing, maybe because it didn't bubble right and it didn't smell right, maybe they were expired. Like maybe I did just get like a bad batch. And honestly, sometime after trying them out, I feel like they disappeared off of the Ulta website. I don't even know if they still make that product anymore. So maybe they realized something was just wrong with that formula. And honestly, if that's the way it was supposed to be, I don't know how you could think it was right, because it was not good. And what sucked was that I didn't have my receipt. I would have definitely returned them and gotten my money back like I should have, but I didn't have my receipt and I had shopped in store and I was just like really upset with myself. So I kind of held on to them for a while, but then I ended up throwing them away because I just had no desire to use them. I didn't really feel like it would be a good idea to give them to somebody else because they were not enjoyable. And it's funny, like the actual scent, that weird off kind of just not great smell, it lingered, like it lasts on your skin for hours after you get out of the tub. Like, I wish I had that lasting power with things that smelled delicious. But alas, the one time I feel like my bubble bath, I can smell it on me all day long, it stank. So that was super disappointing. Probably the most disappointing thing as far as just feeling like I really literally ended up throwing my money away. Now, number 8, this one kind of really threw me for a loop because I did go on the Ulta website and read a ton of reviews before I bought this product, or well, I should say these products, because it's kind of more of a collection of things that I purchased. But the reviews were great, so I thought I was basically getting the best deal ever, and turned out to be really disappointed. So what I'm talking about are some brushes from Japanesque. Now, I filmed a haul video a few months back sharing that I cashed in like 2,000 Ult points, got a whole bunch of stuff for basically no money, and I bought like 10 different Japanesque brushes because they were marked down to like a really crazy clearance point, and I had a 20% off coupon, and I had points. So I didn't really end up even using a ton of points on those brushes. They ended up costing me like $2 to $5 a piece, maybe even a little bit less than that. But honestly, I don't think I really enjoyed any of those brushes. Actually, no, I lied. There was one brush out of all the ones I tried that I liked and that I kept, and that was the blush brush. The blush brush was beautiful, but pretty much everything else really disappointed me. The powder brush especially, that one killed me because it looked so beautiful and fluffy. It was a mixed fiber brush that had both synthetic and natural fibers in it, and for some reason, whenever you're powdering your face with this brush, the natural fibers, I felt like they were just poking you like little needles on your face. They were so stiff and kind of sharp and scratchy and just very, very unpleasant. And for the full price, that brush was like $20. I don't know who would ever spend that much money on that brush. And it had great reviews. Like, all of these brushes had like 4.5, 5-star reviews, and not just like one. They had like 10 to 30 reviews a piece. So somebody out there was using those brushes. Either that or somebody out there was writing fake reviews, or I don't know what. But I was very disappointed. I feel like I was just so bummed that I got all of these brushes and so few of them ended up being really special or things that I wanted to continue to use. Down to the last two products. So my number 9, regret. This one I don't have because I did in fact end up returning it. And if you haven't guessed, it's the Fenty Diamond Bomb. I had been talking about this in several of my videos recently, like hemming and hawing as to whether or not I wanted to keep this product. I bought it during the Sephora VIB sale. I had a gift card, so I kind of felt like, maybe I'll splurge and treat myself. But at the end of the day, it just was not worth it to me to keep that product, even with the 20% discount, because I knew I was never going to get enough use out of it to make it worth it for me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Fenty Diamond Bomb is a highlighter, but it has a very unique and different formula. It's not the same as the other Killawatt Freestyle highlighters. It's basically straight up glitter. And on one hand, like on the body, it can be like really beautiful. It's like a really nice shimmer. But on the face, I knew I was like never going to use it as a normal highlight because it's just straight up sparkle, straight up silver glitter on your face. And at the end of the day, essentially investing $30-something on some body glitter was not worth it to me. I do not wear like revealing tops all that often. I don't go to events where I'm wearing dresses where my shoulders and things are exposed. I live in Connecticut. It's cold. It's winter. I'm going to be wearing sweaters and basically long-sleeved everything between now and May. So when I got very real with myself, even though it was really pretty to look at and it was a very unique product, I just decided like, no, it's not worth it for me to keep this. And fortunately, I was still within my return window. I was able to bring it back to Sephora, get my money back. I used that money to buy something else using my $20 off of 75 coupon because, of course, I have a problem. But I honestly feel like the products that I just purchased in lieu of that one, I'm going to enjoy and get so much more use out of. So I'm glad I was able to salvage that regret because if I wasn't, I would have been, I think, pretty mad at myself in a couple of months. And finally, the last of my top 10 product regrets is a very surprising one, I think. I don't think you guys are going to see this coming, but I kind of regret buying this a little bit. So this is the Zoeva Cocoa Blend palette. And, all right, here's the truth with this guy. Zoeva was one of those brands that was on my bucket list that I've wanted to try for literally forever. And the Cocoa Blend is kind of, I feel like, their most iconic eyeshadow palette. I started blogging in 2013. It was a long time ago, and way back in the day, everybody talked about this palette and how beautiful it was and how awesome the formula was. And I think I just had this nostalgic like excitement around this product, and I just wanted it because I wanted to know what it was like. I had just built it up so much in my mind after years and years of watching like all the UK beauty bloggers talk about this product and Zoeva in general. Then I was in New York City for an event, and I found out that there was this one little drugstore that sold Zoeva products, because here in the United States, there really isn't a retailer that sells Zoeva. You have to order it either online from their website or from maybe another UK retailer and, pay to have it shipped here to the United States, which is very expensive. So when I found out that I could just go and buy this and not have to worry about having it shipped, I was really excited. And at the time, I think I would have preferred to buy a different Zoeva palette, but they had a very limited selection, and I just went with this one because it's iconic and I had always heard so much about it. But even when I was standing there in the store, I had that feeling of like, man, you know, these colors are nice and the formula is nice, but it's not revolutionary. It wasn't really as special as I thought it was going to be. I'm like standing there and I'm touching it, I'm swatching the tester, and my heart sank a little bit. But then I also had this feeling like you've come all this way, you can't just not buy the palette after talking about wanting to buy the palette for the last however many years. So I forked over my money. It was like $30-something with tax. I brought it home. I used it a handful of times. And while I've gotten some really pretty looks with this palette, it's very everyday friendly. Again, it's not something that inspires me a whole lot or excites me a whole lot. So I don't find myself reaching for it that often. And I think it's really sad just because, oh man, Zoeva was a brand that I just talked about so much. And I don't know. I feel like for the amount of money I paid for this, I could have probably bought other palettes I probably would have used and loved so much more. Like, I'm kind of glad I got to try the Zoeva formula, but now I just feel super disenchanted with it, which kind of sucks. So that is it, guys. Those are the top 10 products I regret purchasing most this year. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your support. Definitely let me know in the comments down below, what are your biggest purchase regrets of 2018? Is there anything you bought that you thought about afterwards and you're like, why? Why did I spend my money on that? What was I thinking? Or something that was super hyped that just totally ended up disappointing you. Also, we have one more video left in my top 10 series for this year. I'm going to be sharing on Tuesday the 10 best purchases I've made in 2018. The 10 products that I bought that I just freaking love the most. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not already so you don't miss out on when that goes live. So on that note, thank you again for hanging out with me today and chatting about beauty. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next one.